So, good afternoon. I went on YouTube and I have subscribed to Stray Benzes, our friend Ralph. And Ralph converted his three W126s he got to these type of LED headlights. And I thought that would be great to get that too for my car. So I left a message for Ralph on his video post where he showed the installation of these here. And he had bought the 9004 H2s or HB1s. And I ordered them and I looked first in my manual and it says 9004 light bulbs for my car too. 560 SEL model year 89. And they came in today, as you can see, the box. We got the T1s, 9004 HB1 T2s, exactly what the doctor ordered. And then I open up I take the light bulb out of my car, and the first thing I see is the vacuum elements, which means I have a different set of headlights in there. Mercedes-Benz had an option on the W126s, which didn't have the automatic leveling suspension system, where you had a dial in the dashboard, a vacuum actuated system, and there's two modulators or vacuum elements in the headlight, and they can point the internal reflector down when you have too much weight in the trunk, and you can bring them back up straight when you removed it. And my car, or all the cars with automatic leveling system, didn't have this, or it was an option at least. Of course, the vacuum hoses are not connected, the elements are not connected in there on my car. So I tried to put these ones in, and then I realized that I have 9003 bulbs in there. Those are the ones with the metal plate for the low beam on the lower side, which directs the beam up, the low beam up, and then it goes into the reflector and out. And then it basically turns on both directions when you go to the high beam, more like this thing here. So these ones here have two LEDs on each side. And you can see this here. I'm going to show you this here in a second. First of all, what I like about those is, in general, is this is now the low beam. At 13.8 volts, this is about the range what the alternator / generator puts out, is about 13.8 volts. You're drawing only about 1.1, 1.2 amps, which is a fifth or 20% of what you usually draw in terms of current for low beam. And by two low beams, that is quite a difference if you're drawing 10 amps or 2.5 amps, 2.5 amps. And that makes it easier, especially short distance driving, to charge your batteries because you have more current available. So that is a great reduction. The alternator has only 80 amps, and if you have the air conditioning running, the seat heaters, and the rear windshield, heated windshield, and the blower running at full power, and then the headlights, and then you're trying to charge your battery, there's not much left in it. Well, anyway, so this is a great reduction. This will lessen the entire current consumption. That is a great plus on those. And what I had asked Ralph in my question in the comment section on his video was, how well did they held up? Because he put them in a year ago. He said he had no problems. He put them in all of his three cars. And of course, since I got 9003s, and these are 9004s, the connector didn't fit. So I started to experiment. Before I realized this, I cut off the connector and I put these shoes on here, basically what I have on my connection. And basically the way this works is quite simple. The black wire I have here is the ground, the common. Yellow is low beam and red is high beam. And the way they're sitting in there is when you fit them into your car, if you have a 9004, the cable is basically going down and this thing looks at you like this. So you have two on the lower side and 2 on the upper side. So now I have this held in here, and now what we're going to do is we're going to reduce the voltage. I think we're down to 7 volts. This way it becomes much more visible. And now we can see actually that the left LED here is on and the right LED here is on. If I can get there, if we can get this zoomed in, yeah, the right LED. And now when I switch this from low beam to high beam, if it lets me, now you can see the right LED is on this side and the left LED is on this side. And this is pretty slick, so this works quite well. This mimics exactly the 2 beam patterns you have, and then I can increase this. And I go back up to 13.8 volts. The LEDs they use is basically the same what your the light elements look like it in your light bulb itself. They might be a little bit thicker, but they have about the same spacing and they're in the same position and they have the same length. And so that should give you, with your reflection, it should be in the reflector, that should work quite well actually, or very close to what you actually got. Now let's see, they have a fan here on the bottom side, which no matter what the polarity is, I tested that out, it turns counterclockwise and it basically sucks the air in and it blows it over the heatsink here and it blows it over in here, I guess, over the light. And I had this now running for quite some time, and let's see if we can get a good measurement of this. The problem is I can't see the laser beam on it. There we go. So 150, I had it as high as 180. Depends on how good I beam. So this gives you an idea of the heat development. It is not very hot, and I haven't gotten this, and we have regular room temperature about 70 degrees at the moment, and this is with the high beam. The high beam draws a tad bit more current. The other thing is what I saw is that in this configuration with the 9004, when I turn on the high beams, there's not enough current draw. So what happens is that my orange light from the light test unit comes on and indicates I have a bad light bulb. So I will see if this is going to stay the same way when we get the 9003s. Maybe they have a different current configuration. Otherwise, I would have to put a parallel resistor on there to increase actually the current, so the unit will not basically get tripped by this. And that's as far as it goes. My unit should be here on Friday, no, Tuesday next week. And I thought I'm going to throw this into the mix here for someone who thought, you know, that they might be interested in these LED lights. And as you can see, they're quite bright. I can actually do it with the camera. The camera can handle it. But if you look in it with your eyes, you're basically blinded. That's how bright this actually is. Is there anything else I wanted to mention in it? No. It is quite simple, the installation, and I will post an update on those when we put the 9003s in when they come. But like I said, this looks pretty good here. That lower current is quite something else. If someone is interested to purchase these here, I have no use for the 9004s. If you can use 9004s and you want to replace these connectors here with the smaller pins, which is basically the size for these here, then you can plug them into your unit. I paid $65 for shipping for these here, and like I said, as I just got them, I would say $40 with free shipping, and they're used. Send to Cash App. I will put the Cash App underneath it. My loss is your gain, and you can wire them in. You got yourself a set of working LEDs which work fine. If you have 9004s, don't buy them if you got 9003s. All right, Cash App will be in the description. Put your address where I need to ship this to in the Cash App note, you know, and then I will send that out to you. I probably can ship it on Monday if you send it. $40, the first $40 coming in, we'll get it. If you get the $40 back, that means it's sold already, okay? You have a great evening and a Merry Christmas.